G'day everyone, I'm Mark Vallance from Motorcycling Victoria. I'm out here in Horsham. I've got President of the club next to me, Kenny Watts. How you going, mate?
Good, Mark. Thanks very much for having me.
Not a worry. We're here to talk about the Victorian Senior Motocross Championships. First round taking place at Blue Rock on the 5th and 6th of March. Any thoughts heading into the first round?
Yeah, mate, we've got to get all our riders focused on doing all the rounds, and everyone's got to aim to finish in the top 10.
Yep. And how do you think they've managed to try and get people to do that this time?
Well, I think Motocross management's doing a great job with what with what they've got to do with, and we just got to really push the fact that we need our riders to support this event and do the whole series. And it's up to the riders. We can run an event without it, but it's not going to be that good.
Yeah, very, very true. So to predict what can happen from round one, we kind of need to look back a bit first. So quick recap of a few of the results from last year's championships. We'll start with the Pro Lights, where we had Jed Beaton finishing first place on 370 points. Jack Simpson on 340 came second, and Joel Milicevic on 284 in third. What stood out to you from the Pro Lights class last year, Kenny?
Oh, mate, Jed Beaton was absolutely on song early, and he was one that wasn't prepared to give an inch on the track. So every time you went into the race, you knew if it got tight, Jed was there and he meant business, and he would push you over a little bit, and wasn't prepared to step aside for those bigger name riders, because he come in as a young bloke and rode really good.
And you've also got young Tommy Ravenhorst, who almost got into that third position over Joel Milicevic. What does he have to do to just get over the line now?
Tommy Ravenhorst is a great little rider, always puts in 100%, and he's just, he's the true blue privateer of our sport, and just, he does it hard. And I reckon this year could be his year, because some of these riders are stepping up to different classes and that too. So yeah, Tommy Ravenhorst is one to look out for, I reckon.
Yeah, very good. Pro Open, Dylan Long finished in first position, 342 points. Thomas Ravenhorst, who we just spoke about, in second on 327, and Matt Van Slooten in third on 315. Sorry. Thoughts on the Pro Open?
Mate, Long he dominated, and even when his bike had an issue, he borrowed one of his mate's bike, dead stock bike, went out there and smoked them. That's just the ability that Dylan Long's got. Like, he is a really good rider. Thomas Ravenhorst rode a 350 all year, so to come out there and do that. And Matt Van Slooten's been around the Gippies, he's been a dominator out there all the time, and he's just very consistent, and they're all stepping up.
And we see, just looking at our results here, that Tom Ravenhorst almost could have had Dylan Long at the rerun round at Ballarat.
Yeah, in saying that, Longy didn't do the last race, but he'd already stitched it up, so he knew he had that in the bag. So, and he was on a borrowed motorbike that weekend, so just stepped off and the last one and gave it back to his mate, which was good to see him get a bike for that round. And it's all now. Everyone knows Dylan Long now riding for the Honda race team. That's a great thing that we've got our number one Victorian riding for Honda Australia. So that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what we like to see, isn't it? Moving on to the A lights, we got Lockie Davis finished in first position on 378 points. Jake Salems 322 in second, and Brendan Johnson in third on 260.
Lockie Davis, unbelievable. This young fella went through the whole series and dropped one race, and that was to Jake Salems. Only once did he not podium in that class. Now, Lockie has just picked up a ride in the Pro Lights team for the Whitten Brother Proformance Yamaha team, so that's a great thing. It just shows you that our riders in Victoria are right up there, and our pointy end is right up there as Australian title riders too, so it's really good.
Yeah, that's what we aim for. The A Open class, Rory McKercher 349 points, Dylan Hodgson 348. Close finish that one.
Yeah, Hodgie was exactly the same, had bike issues and borrowed a mate's bike, and I think he rode it for the whole season, so his bike's in good nick for this year. But Rory McKercher, I had to loan him a front disc to compete in the first round, so he owes me a favour, and I didn't get a payback from the money he won from that round. So Rory, when you listen to this, you'd still owe me for that. So yeah, he's done all the nationals, and Rory McCurchan's going to be one in the Pro Lights that's going to be really good, Pro Open, sorry, and it's going to be good to watch.
Yeah. B Lights, we have Wyatt Fogarty, 346 points, Jackson Coulson, 337, and Corey Watts, 296.
Yeah, 3 young fellas that come straight out of the juniors and went into the B-grade lights and basically dictated from the start. So some of the other riders that have been in there a while didn't put the effort in, and they needed to step up a bit, and hopefully this year they do. You know, they need to do it, as them kids have now gone into the A-grade class, and I think Jackson Coulson's one that's going to go straight and racing in the Pro Lights class. So them boys are stepping it up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's a lot of the B Lights riders that have been regraded into the A Lights, so it's going to make for interesting competition in the A Lights now.
Yeah, that's right. I think the top 10 have all gone up from their results, either from the Vic titles or from their region racing. So yeah, it's going to make it good, and we hope that all them kids come in all fit and they're keen as, so they'll be looking for a great result in A-grade lights.
And the B Open class, Justin Hill, 337, Will McGinley, 284, and Carly Ezagalis, 279. Hopefully I said that right, Kenny.
Carlos Ezagalis, it's he's actually from England, so Carlos has done all right. Missed around a few races there with bike issues, but Will McGinley out of Warrnambool and Justin Hill, I'm not sure where Justin's from. Those boys are consistently right up there, so some great racing. And you know, we've got the hard luck story down there in 5th position, young Corey Hawkes. Now we wish Corey all the best and hope that we see him back at the racetrack one day. So
yeah, certainly do. We don't wish those sorts of injuries on anyone at all. The C Lights, Kenny, Tyrone Guthrie, 309, Oliver Zoir, 299, and Ben Taylor, 296. But if you go a bit further, this was a closely run class. Jake Salt, 293, Austin Spearings, 290. It's just some tight racing at the top of the C Lights.
Yeah, when you have a look at it, Oliver Zoir missed a round altogether at the start, so like he's one that went on it, and the boys Sparings and that, they absolutely dominated at the end of the season and got stronger as the season went on. But young Toddy Chandler, he stepped up into the B-grade Open class, so he's gone straight to a 450 and he's flying around at Warrnambool the other weekend.
Yeah, so good to see, finishing 6th position last year, but yeah, like I said, stepped up into the tougher class anyway. Yeah,
and he rode really good. There were some good riders at Warrnambool for the first national open meeting for the year, and he done really good there. So he's going to go right, I think.
Yeah, there you go. One to keep an eye out for from Kenny Watts. C Open class. Philip Adams, 358, Mitchell Taylor, 338, and Brenton Butner in 3rd position for 306 points.
Yeah, these boys absolutely dominated these front three, and Mitch Taylor, used to race years ago, went away to Western Australia, has come back and now starting to race, and you know, Mitch, I think a little bit of luck, didn't go his way at the start of the year, and then finished off really strong. So, but Phil Adams, yeah, he dominated that one.
We're now into the under-19s. Under 19 A grade, Lockie Davis again at the top. Jake Salems and Joshua Hunt rounded out.
And again, the only bloke that could beat Lockie Davis was Jake Salems. Now these two boys are going to step it up. Josh Hunt has also stepped up into the 450 class, got off that 252 stroke, and that'll be interesting to see how he goes. Hopefully he does the big titles.
And it's also good to see young Jake Deswart there in 7th. He was one of our training camp attendees in the first training camp we did. So hopefully, Jake, you can keep on pushing further up the standings there, mate.
Yeah, well, going by this, he only done one round and would have podiumed that round, so he's a rider that can do it, I think. That'd be good.
Under 19 Bs, Wyatt Fogarty, 350 points in 1st, Jackson Coulson, 335, and Nathan Hill at 309. I seem to recall reading those names out already, Kenny.
Yeah, Fogarty and Coulson were riders that also did really good in B Lights. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Nathan Hewlett stepped it up in the under-19s and actually did better than in that class than he did in the B Lights. Daniel Figueroa, another rider that went really good in this class, but when it come to the B Lights, just couldn't get it to happen. And young Brody Wyndham too. Young Bullbar Beef Jerky, just give the sponsors a plug. Am I allowed to give sponsors a plug?
Why not? Why not?
Bullbar Beef Jerky, because every time I mention that, I get a free beef jerky off the old man. So young Brody. Yeah, it's good to see. He's looking after himself. He's really fit and stepped up to 450 this year too. So a few riders stepping up to the bigger bikes. It's interesting.
Yeah. Under 19C, Austin Spearings 385, Nicholas Davis 323, and Josh Danaher 276.
Yeah, young Nick Davis, brother of Lockie Davis, has stepped up onto his brother's bike now, and he's turned the throttle on, and he's also riding in the 450 class. He may do that race lights and open, but Austin Spearings showed his form there, dominated every race, won every run in the under 19s, so well done to him.
Yep. Moving into the vets, Kenny the vets, the over 30s first up. Stephen Jones 360, Luke Ablett 350, and Rad Crazer 306.
Yeah, Stevie Jones does the suspension tuning out of Shepherd, and then he was very consistent in there. Luke Ablett, I call him Ablett, I'm not real sure which way you pronounce that, but these boys are actually over 30s, not really a vet, but they're having some great time. And once you get to about 30 years of age, trying to keep up with these 21-year-olds, makes you feel like a vet.
And you see Corey Vanderlei come in there for one round and just clean house.
Yeah, Corey Vanderlei is he's somebody that trains hard but seems to always get injured at the wrong time of the year and just can't put it together. It'd be good to see him have a good season and not get injured at all, and he'd be right up there, And you've got to give it out to this bloke. 696, Adam Harlan, the whole shot king, let me down, did not get one whole shot last year. Not one.
Oh, surely he's got to owe you something for
He
that,
does, yeah. He works for Holden. I think there's a sponsorship coming to the Horsham Motorcycle Club. Somehow we'll get that working.
Alright, so on to the vets over 40s, and this was some great racing between three riders who don't really need any introduction, do they, Kenny? I mean, Troy Doran, Craig Rutherford and Mike Reefman in that order. Yeah,
unbelievable riders to watch, and you talk about riders that put in the hard yards. Mike Reefman went over to America and rode in the World Vets and done really good over there. I think he had a win in one of the races, but it's nothing better than seeing Troy Doran back on a Honda again. Had a Suzuki, had that styling, and Yuriv Konski come to the front and chucked in a bike for him, and it's good to see him back on a Honda. Craig Rutherford, big boy, and he throws that KTM around. So there's some great racing in the vets.
Yeah, and Troy Doran took the first couple of rounds easy. Craig Rutherford took him in second, and then they kind of really pushed each other the rest of the way.
Yeah, they are. They're the boys to chase down once you get over 40. And this bloke here, Carl Wolf, stepped up and he's brought himself a 450, thinking that this is where we're going to be to race these blokes. So he's going to go right too, I think.
Now in the ladies clubman class, we have Caitlin Wacker, which you've said is okay for me to call her that, in first position on 382, Madison Bird 344, and Sam Beecroft in 298 in third position. They're just I'll get in with a bit of a plug here. Sam Beecroft attended our last Elite Rider training camp in September, so it'll be good to see what she can bring to the table from that. Yeah,
she's actually gaining with confidence, Samantha, and she's riding really good. And whether it's the camp or whether it's just the confidence there, she's starting to gain from riding with the other girls. She stepped it up and she's riding really good. I think Caitlin Wacker should step up into the expert class. She needs that challenge. Maybe even Madison Bird is going to do it. And Fleur Barling is one that's going to do it, step up in the Western region. Maybe she'll step up also into the big titles, into the expert class. And you've got to start challenging yourself, and that's where it's going to happen.
And Fleur finished in fourth position on 180 points last year. Ladies expert class, Maddie Brown 376, Courtney White Dennis 336, and Morgan Wright 322. But Emma Milesevic back on the bike this year.
Yeah, she done 2 rounds, and she was leading halfway through the series and got injured here at Horsham at a Western region, and she was leading the big titles, leading the Australian titles, and I think she's going to be one to keep an eye on this year. But Maddie Brown, she had a great season. She finished first in the Vics, first in Australia, and now riding for full time for DPH Yamaha. So she's going to be great to watch. And the Yamaha girls, her and Maddie and Courtney White Dennis, you know, they're going to be flying the flag for Yamaha and doing really good, I think.
And Courtney White Dennis has really stepped it up over the past year, hasn't she?
Yeah, she had an injury, and once she got over that, she's a good little rider actually. So the girls put on a great effort, and it's some great racing coming out of these girls.
Yeah, that just about sums up the full recap. Any final thoughts, bold predictions heading into the first round of this year's championships, Kenny?
I'm going to change my prediction and say it's going to be a domination of Hondas this year. All right, Yamahas have really been good last year, and I think we need to get Longy up there, and that's going to be good for us. And I just want everyone to give themselves the opportunity to get a top 10 result in Victoria. You've got to do something, set that as your aim, and do all the rounds, get a top 10 finish, and if you podium on top of that, that's a bonus.
Yeah, no, well said. That just about wraps it up from here in Horsham. Kenny, thank you.
Pleasure, Mark.
Alright, and entries for round 1 of the Victorian Senior Motocross Championships close on Monday the 29th of Feb at 9 p.m. Sub-regs are available on the website under the events tab. We'll be back before round 2. Could be Kenny, might not, we don't know yet. But until then, we'll see you at the track.
Thanks, Mark. Is that better? Okay.
I reckon that was good.